Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Set Your Y, yo, a.k.a. Coach Bird, and I'm the host of the BYRDCAGE show, Cousin Tracy.
What's up?
We are back at it, finally, episode 133. We took a little time off, you know what I'm saying? We had some things going on. Life was lifing and adulting was adulting, you know what I'm saying? Had a little back surgery in June, so that had me down for a couple months and whatnot, and then I had some things in the crib that had to be repaired down here in the basement, so the basement was kind of off limits to outsiders for a little bit, but we are back now.
Did y'all check this space for asbestos?
Yes, we did.
Because I was down here 130
We're good.
episodes. I want to make sure I ain't got to.
We're good.
But
Everything was good.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
but real talk, I was just saying that, I didn't realize the BYRDCAGE was one of them things in my life that I needed, so I'm glad we back. I missed you guys. Well, I missed you. Missed the whole setup. I missed this.
I know, right? Yeah, it took me a little longer to set things up today, too, because I was plugging stuff in the wrong spot and like, what I do again with this? And, you know what I'm saying? But when it kicked in, I'm back.
You back? Okay. All right.
I'm back.
Look, I even had to find my shirt.
I got a couple new ones for you, too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
we still got merch, y'all.
Yeah, we still got merch. You know what I'm saying? We around. We ain't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might not have seen us on new episodes, but we've been around. You know what I'm saying? We are back. We are back and blessing us in the cage on the couch today. This guest, he was on episode 90, so if you want to go back and check him out and see what he was talking about then and compare it to what he's about to talk about now, please feel free. You know what I'm saying? It's a good friend of ours as well. Dang, he got a long list. I had to write it down because I couldn't remember all that. So let me just run down a little bit of his credentials real quick, all right? Now, licensed professional counselor, licensed clinical alcohol and drug counselor, approved clinical supervisor, motivational speaker, author, coach, podcaster, digital creator, my man.
Public address announcer. I'm sorry.
I forgot. The best. I was going to get into that too. I forgot. Public address announcer. And he did a couple of my games, and yes, that's facts. He does a tremendous job. So if anybody out there, you got some showcases, anything coming up, get at him. You know what I'm saying? We'll have his info up a little later in the show. But our good friend, my man, Dr. Jason BRICE, is on the couch in the cage today. What's up, bro?
Hey, how you doing, brother? How you doing, Cousin Tracy?
Hi, how are you? Welcome back.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
Hey, we are glad we could steal a little bit of your time.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Now, I'm going to have to write this down again. You know what I'm saying? So, besides him telling a little bit about his background, I'm going to run it down, and then if, I miss some things, then he can fill it in. So, from New York. Yeah. Long Island. You know what I'm saying? I believe you said last time that you did try to go to Lincoln, but that didn't work out.
Oh, no. I did go to Lincoln.
Okay. You went to Lincoln, and it didn't work out.
I did go.
Crashed on your brother's couch for a couple years at Del State.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Got some odds and end type of jobs to work on just to kind of get through.
$125 paying rent and living in the living room.
Living in the living room.
Dave, what up?
Then DYFS came a calling.
Yes.
Okay. How long was you at DYFS?
A quick year.
Okay, it was only a year?
That's it. I had to go.
And
listen, in respect to everybody that does that job,
right.
It's just, some things is just not for you.
I got you.
The paperwork was just not for me.
I got you.
It's just another level of paperwork that you've never seen.
I got you. And then after DYFS, Pennsgrove, guidance counselor?
That is the dream job, or one of the dream jobs.
Got you.
Guidance counselor, amongst other things.
Now, how long you been there at Pennsgrove?
That's I think I'm going into my 10th year.
10th year, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where did you graduate from college?
Wilmington University.
Okay.
All my every for whatever reason, it just clicked in 02. You know what I'm saying? After trying like 8 times.
Right.
It did. And it really was I worked for this job, AIG. Y'all remember AIG Insurance or whatever? Mm-hmm. So I worked for this job and Geico too, and they gave me like a schedule like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday too. I was like, nah. And I quit. I went on lunch break and just never came back, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, I can't. So then I started working at the group home. You know what I'm saying? That was my first time doing that.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I like this here, man, because 3 to 11.
Right.
You pretty much chilling, watching the game, making sure they good, taking on trips, and it was good, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, being a guidance counselor, let's talk about that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because, we're all in education and whatnot. And,
we are not. Okay. I lost my job.
Okay, all right, but you was there. You understand the educational.
Clear.
You understand the educational.
Some things happened while life was life then when we wasn't taping. Sis is unemployed.
That's not true. You do have a job.
Okay, you're right.
Just not in.
Just not in school.
Yeah, just not in school. But let's talk a little bit, just real briefly, about being a guidance counselor in high school. Because I always I thought at some point in my teaching career, I thought I was going to transition and become a guidance counselor, but I just said, nah, just stay in the classroom, coach, and rock out from there. So what's that life like, guidance counselor life? Because it looks busy and scheduling and all of this and that.
Does.
Talking to kids and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, I think that for me, the counseling is it's easy. I don't say it's easy, but I think that some people go to school and they learn how to be a counselor.
Gotcha.
And then you have some people that, God has blessed them with that purpose and gift to be one. So talking with the kids is simple, creating the relationships. Shout out to my man, Anwar Golden. He likes to call me the child whisperer. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that I'm able to kind of talk with, various different kids and being able to kind of reach them a little bit.
Gotcha.
So I actually really have the time of my life, and I try to tell the kids like, yo, I never had it until I was like 40. I got this job. They always, I don't know if you ever heard this yourself. If you find something that you love, you don't really feel like you working.
True.
You don't work a day in your life.
True.
And it's really true. Like, so the people, of course, there's always human humanness.
Right.
I'll just say that. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the purpose and the job at hand, yo, I have the time of my life. I love those kids. I love those families. And sometimes it gets a little, raw, gets a little gangster.
Right.
But, at the same time, I'm like, yo, listen, it's cool. Like, there's nothing, I tell my kids, and same thing I tell my kids that I counsel and everything, there's really nothing that you can do to stop me from loving you.
Gotcha.
Okay? You know what I'm saying? Because that love that we give is free.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's what we're supposed to do. So if you mess up, okay, all right, well, you messed up. Yo, bro, you got some consequences you got to deal with.
Right.
But I'm going to help you get through it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It is what it is. So, I love it, though.
That's what's up.
I think in the guidance counselor perspective, guidance counselors nowadays are way better, I feel like, than some of the guidance counselors we had in our day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because guidance counselors nowadays are more relatable. And I think you can reach children, young people, if you get them to understand, I get it.
Right, I get it. I've been there.
Yeah, I get it. See, my guidance counselors was do as I say, because I wasn't a bad kid. I'm here. And like, you know what I mean? So now I think the guidance counselors, a lot of my friends are guidance counselors. I think you guys make it more comfortable for people to understand I was you and you were me and together we're going to figure this out.
No, you're exactly right, Cousin Tracy. I mean, life is nothing but what? A big highway, right? And I'm just at exit 49 and they at exit 14, 15, and 16. So if I'm trying to tell you about traffic, you'd be foolish not to listen to me, right? Because I done went down the same road. So that's what I try to kind of articulate to the kids. One of the things that that I'm really passionate about when it comes to being in the guidance office and counseling is dealing with the child's confidence. I really feel like confidence is a big part of why a lot of our kids struggle, because they don't necessarily believe in themselves, whether they've been conditioned that way, whether life has, as you say, been lifing or whatever, it kills the confidence. So as a guidance counselor, and I hope and I try to encourage all the other guidance counselors that I work with, is to build confidence up, affirmations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the way I do it, I'll stop you in the hallway and be like, because I do this I am thing. Okay. And I'm like, yo, I am, and you better say what you confident, beautiful, smart, intelligent. Because you got to build them up. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
That's kind of what I strive to do.
I think what happens a lot of times is people misconstrue confidence for arrogance. So we're not teaching our young people to be confident because somewhere along the lines, people have made people think think if you're confident, then you're arrogant.
Right.
But they're are totally
different things.
two different things.
True.
And sometimes my confidence can come off as arrogant because I'm confident on who I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you can't change that for me.
Right.
And I think, I'm glad a lot of families are starting to learn that they need to affirm things to their children in the mornings to get their day going.
Yes.
And even with the greeting in the morning. I don't care how bad you're feeling. Just say good morning to them little people.
Good morning.
Good morning, beautiful.
Good morning. That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
You just got to start the day off, let them feel positive. And I think you're right. The lack of confidence makes it hard for our children to emotionally regulate through life.
Yeah.
And everything causes them to be overstimulated because they're not confident in their responses because they're not sure of who they are.
Or who they are.
True.
Big time.
That's
time.
right.
You have a lot of kids that were kind of like, I guess like me, right? So I got a master's plus, and I did try to go to school for a doctorate, but it was just that's one thing you can't multitask. Okay, like you gotta really zone in, and I couldn't multitask that. But what the point of what I'm saying is that sometimes I was a kid that I went to summer school. I was never a good student. I never was really interested. I kept failing tests over and over again. So you had teachers and even some advisors that's kind of gearing you towards
being a trash man.
Yeah, do other careers. Right. And I'm like, how when I realized, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. Why can't I go to school?
Right.
I can go. I'm intelligent. I'm smart. I just didn't want to apply myself. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it comes down to. So a lot of the kids I relate to because they could be poor students and the teacher be like, oh no, get a career in electrician. I'm like, yo, hold up. And I'll say, listen, you go ahead and tell them that. But then when I get them in my quarters, in my lab.
But you know what's so funny about that? You know how intelligent you got to be an electrician?
Absolutely.
Because if you mess them wires up, it's going to be fried. Like a piece of chicken from Popeye.
Absolutely.
So it takes a lot and steady hand and knowledge. So it's so crazy when they tell kids, get a trade. He not a good student, get a trade. Well, get a trade because you got to know measurement.
Right.
You got to know measurement. You got to
Right.
get it. Let him get a trade.
Right.
Trades, we need those trades.
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong. But the kids need to know you getting a trade doesn't make you less than.
Right.
You are a good student.
Right.
You just don't want to apply yourself in school. So apply yourself with your hands.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That doesn't mean you're less than as a student.
No, absolutely
but
not.
that's what they try to convince kids.
Yes.
College ain't for you, get a trade. But to get a trade is hard.
True.
Right. The thing about it is, you know what, and I agree with you totally. I actually saw something online with somebody I know, and they had said like, for pretty much in layman's terms, what they're saying is for a kid to go to college is foolish. It's foolish for them. Get a trade, stay out of debt, this and that. And I promise you, I haven't met one person that's not in debt.
Right.
I'm saying, I have not one person.
That's the American way.
That's what I'm saying. So that not one person.
Our country runs off of debt.
That's what I'm saying, right? So that's one thing. But the second thing is this. What I realized as I've gotten older and, continue to maturate is, you only go around this thing one time, bro.
Right.
So why not live your dream? My thing is, instead of me regulating you to college or trade or whatever, why don't I sit down and just talk to you and try to figure out what do you want?
Right.
What do you want? Because whatever you want, the time to get it now is when life is black and white.
Right.
Because when it gets colorful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Things change, right?
True.
And now you multitasking.
But you know what they also don't tell kids? You're going to have debt regardless because those trade schools cost.
Yeah, they cost too.
Truck driving school costs. You got to apply for financial aid to go to truck driving school.
Everything
You got to apply.
Everything costs.
So you're going to have some type of debt.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. And that to me, when you do that, it's actually, it's actually fights against a child or a person actually kind of living a purposed life. Because now you're saying, hey, listen, forget about all them desires that you got. Don't even do that. Yo, go do that, get that money, and that's it. And that's not, I don't think that's what life, I don't think that's why God created life, so to speak.
I agree.
I think he created life for us to do a good work for him.
True.
And procreate and other things, you know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion.
That's what's up.
Assessments.
That's what's up. Now, outside of Penns Grove High School, being a guidance counselor there, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to our boy Dame, too. You know what I'm saying? I definitely got to get him. I got to get him on the couch one of these days. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Dame and whatnot. let's talk about four walls. You know what I'm saying? Your I guess that's what we call it, nonprofit counseling services and nonprofit, much more. I'll let you explain it.
It's a nonprofit mental health counseling and wellness agency. Okay. And what we focused on is helping those individuals believe that, you know, whether you're stuck in a place, whether your life is kind of sort of in neutral, so to speak, you're having some challenges or whatever, we want to come up alongside of you to be able to kind of help you and do what we have to do to be able to, you know, stop the recidivism of children coming in and out of the mental health system, because you see that constantly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a constant cycle. So, you know, we've been doing very well. We've been in business since 2014, got our first contract 2016, got our 501c 2017, and we're just steady climbing. Now we're doing outpatient services where we're, you know, taking various insurances, soon to be taking Medicaid. So we're really looking forward to that, because that's going to really allow us to be able to extend our reach into a lot of neighborhoods, just because that, you know, unfortunately, some neighborhoods, when there's, you know, low socioeconomic going on, you know, they don't have the Aetnas or the Cignas and all that, you know what I'm saying, pardon me, but they have, you know, the Medicaid, so that's going to allow us to be able to do that. But it's really a dream, and it's really a purpose that God gave me after my mom's died unexpectedly at the age of 59, and, you know, going through that wilderness experience, that's what was birthed.
Right. So what is the age that you guys service? The age of the young people?
I start at 3, and I will go whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because now prior, when I first went, episode 90, I was on. So episode 90, we only did 3 to 21 because we only had that one contract.
Gotcha.
But now we offer outpatient services. So I see, be honest with you, I see a good balance of kids. I see a good balance of adults.
Gotcha.
And for whatever reason, shout out to Janae Chandler. She calls me and she said, your name's ringing bells, but apparently I've become the relationship guru. So I get a lot of couple counseling, man. You know what I'm saying? So
are you married?
I am not.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I was married though. See, so I can.
No, I'm just joking. But I'm a big believer in this. You know, I have daylight, and I was working in a school, and I refer a lot of my families to call Perform Care and request 4 walls. I do it often. I said, listen, when you call Perform Care, request 4 walls, because they look like us, and you want these people to come into your home. You have to be comfortable with them coming to your home, and they look like us. So I do that a lot, and I'm a big component of 4 walls and the work you guys do. Now back to this counseling thing. So I'm just going to say this. I agree with you. You not being married and was married, you may have some insight on how you can make stuff right. But we also know me ain't taking no advice from nobody that ain't going through what I'm currently going through. But I can take advice from you, because we in the same place. I ain't married no more either, so I ain't giving out none, because my shit ain't work, and I ain't currently taking on just joking.
But it's true, because I kind of felt that way myself, right? Like, how am I able, and that's a battle when I pray and ponder, like, yo, why you got me helping these families? And what I realized is that I had to learn some lessons, like when you marry. You know what I'm saying? When marriage breaks down, you get divorced. Sure, it's easy to be like, yo, it's all that person's fault. And I was that way for a lot of years. But then you start to see yourself a little bit. You start to see outside yourself, and then you realize, like, wait a minute, no, it takes 2 parties. And then you start to understand men and women and how they, you know, receive and give love differently, not the same. And sometimes as a man, you know, which and I think a lot of women, to be honest with you, they pick me because I am a black man, and, you know, most of the families.
You are? I ain't even noticed.
But it's actually strategic on the female. because they're like, oh, you know what? You ain't coming trying to go to counseling because you don't want to go to another female and you think they're going to hold the flag. They're going to hold the flag, you know what I'm saying? So they say, oh, wait, Jason Bryce, black man, blah. Oh, you know what? We going to go to him.
Got you.
So you get a male perspective.
You ain't got no excuses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, to be honest with you, like, I'm a straight shooter, and I tell them straight up, like, you know, I can help you. It's not a problem, but I'm going to tell you the truth in a loving way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, a lot of times it's communication. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I realize in order to make marriage work, you have to understand that person pretty much from top to bottom. How they've been, conditioned, how they've been reared, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So I that's what makes me feel okay. We're like, okay, you know what I went through? I made some mistakes. I made some errors. That's no different than what I do with the kids, right? It's no different. It's the same thing,
Right.
All right. You might be all right. I'm just saying.
All right.
Now, what's some of the other services like that we deal with Four Walls?
All right. So we do the counseling, we do the mentoring, we do the behavioral assistant, outpatient. We do scholarships. We give out scholarships. We help with families that are going through challenges. I will say that, I've kind of changed my approach because normally, if somebody needs something, I just do it. I don't even care. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, God has blessed me, right? And how I look being selfish with that, right?
Got you.
But I realize, though, I have to be a better steward because sometimes people can take my grace and want to manipulate it a little bit. So it makes me, so let's say a family needs some money and they need to pay their rent.
Right.
Okay, I'll pay your rent. But you know what? Let's figure out how we don't get back in this situation.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So there's an educational piece now that I'm starting to offer.
True.
We love when it's time to feed the homeless. In fact, I was just talking with my team. Shout out to Viancy and Sarah and Maria. Actually, I think Maria's gonna help out. And Janae. We like to feed the homeless down in Camden and stuff like that. So I want to actually increase that more.
Gotcha.
So we've been in touch with St. Joseph's House to see what we could do. Because my dream and desire is to go to Cousins and get like one of them meat packages and just barbecue all day long.
Got you.
And
just
feed
and
just be feeding them, yo. That would be the time of my life right there.
Right. That's
you know
dope.
what I mean? Now they wouldn't let me have a beer while I'm out there with it, though. So I gotta have some coffee or some tea or whatever. But we'll put something up in there. I don't know.
Adult tea.
Adult tea. You know what I'm saying?
Adult tea.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's up.
So that's what we offer. What we are going to start offering. I mean, we do offer drug and alcohol counseling now. But more just doing assessments now. But what I want to do is be able to start offering, drug education, DUI classes and stuff like that. That's in the future though.
Got you. Now, where's Four Wall, the building located?
So we're in Voorhees right now. We're at a location right off the White Horse Road. Right behind the Lindenwall Speed Line. Station. And we're there. We're there. We're happy there. But we're actively looking to expand. I think that God says prepare for the moment instead of waiting for the moment to get prepared. So I think it's time for us to get a bigger space.
Got you.
Just so that we could be able to offer more things.
Got you. That's what's up. Yeah. I feel like I'm in a counselor session now. I got two great counselors right here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I start crying, don't.
No,
it's
all good. That's all good.
That's what's up. Now let's talk a little about. And I'm telling you, this guy wears many hats. You know what I'm saying? This motivational speaking thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my checking my daily social media pages and. Who I see, Dr. Bryce, and with his walk and giving out some gems. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like Cousin Tracy be giving them gems. He be giving them gems too. You know what I'm saying? So when did that come about?
In June, this past June, after coming back and recovery from cancer and stuff like that, I don't know. When I was recovering in the hospital, I was saying to my ex-wife, I was saying that. I think that I'm going to be a speaker. I think I need to do that because when you go through a health crisis like that, no matter what, no matter how strong your faith is or whatever, you can go left and start to think like, yo, this is it. Like,
right.
what if I don't wake up during surgery? What if I don't this?
Right,
What if I don't,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I kind of felt like at that moment, and plus I probably was high off them drugs, you know what I'm saying? But I felt like at that moment, like, yo, like, nah, I'm going for everything I want. You know what I'm saying? So, and I felt like, you know what? I got a good voice. I'm able to speak. People, you know, my board members tell me, you know, my fellow board members tell me, you know, when Jason Bryce speaks, everybody listens. So I'm just like, yo, you know what? Let me try to do that, and that's really counseling on steroids, right? That's all it really is.
True.
So I went down to Atlanta, and you know, they had this. I don't know if you ever heard of Next Level Speakers.
Okay.
With Jeremy Anderson, Eric Thomas, Inky
I've
Johnson.
heard Eric Thomas. Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'm either going to go to their conference or I'm going to go to Les Brown, who my father really liked. You know what I'm saying? And he was dope too, because he kind of helped me during my recovery. But Les Brown ain't had nothing. So I went down to Atlanta for my birthday. It was actually a conference on my birthday, June 6th. And, you know, I said, yo, that's my purpose.
Gotcha. I
was there, you know, and I like to say I found myself in Atlanta. But, you know, FB, you know, so let me clarify.
You know,
I found my purpose.
Right.
Down in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? So that's what made me start doing the words of the day. And at first, it was, you know, kind of nerve, because I'm not really I like to talk, I like to speak, but I'm really a behind the scenes person. I'm a producer.
Right,
I'm not really into, you know, speaking like that. But I'm like, you know what, sometimes, you know, God say you got to come from behind the shadows and come out there and do what you got to do. So I love my words of the day. I didn't really realize, almost kind of like you, how you didn't realize how much you needed this show, Cousin Tracy. Like, I didn't realize how many people listened to it until I stopped doing it for a second. And then people were like, yo, Bryce, where's the word of the day? And I'm like, oh, I didn't know he was listening. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me get back to it. You know what I'm saying? And I try to explain to them, like, yo, you know, some people that do that stuff, they'll kind of just make up something for the day, right? I'm not that type of person.
Gotcha.
Like, I gotta feel it.
Right, I got
So, you know, either I gotta experience it, I get a vision, or I gotta feel it.
Gotcha.
So if you ain't getting no word today,
it wasn't no word.
It wasn't no word.
It wasn't no word.
That means the previous word is
still running.
Gotcha. So that's the only difference, man.
Gotcha.
So, you know, and no matter how much I try to like maybe force it, it don't come across until I have that moment. So, but that's what I love to do, though.
Gotcha. That's what's up. Yeah, I'll definitely be there.
Sometimes you have to pass the moment to realize the moment. So, like, I couldn't see it at the moment. I couldn't see it at the time. But when I went past it, and now I evolved, and now I understood, like, yo, everything you do, not just with serving at church, I mean, everything you do is for God. It's the reason why he made you talented. It's the reason why he built you up. He sent you through all those different things. So he did all that. Now you think, what, it's just for you? No. It's for you to serve the people. And once I grasped that and I really understood it, that level of humility came.
And I don't know if you guys are on TikTok. I love TikTok, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
I just started being able to navigate through those systems with the help of my 15-year-old granddaughter. But
oh, you'll love TikTok. I mean, I love TikTok.
Cool.
Yeah.
I go in there for all kind of stuff like recipes and stuff, and I know about the TikTok shop.
And I be honest, I get all my new music from them young folks.
Yeah, true. That's true.
But no, but like with TikTok, it allows you to be able to create videos, and then you can share those videos. So that's what I like about it. But no, I appreciate you. You know, definitely please follow me, because I want to build that word for the day. And I see a lot of people that do it. I do. You know, but I'm not. I can't talk about them. I can only talk about me.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
But I mean, here's the thing. I just was saying to somebody today on my way here. They called just so you can kind of like check in, because as we do know, yesterday was Mental Health Day, and for the first time, people called and checked in on me. And it was different because people don't usually check the checker, right? So I got a couple phone calls, and I got one today. They was like, you know, I'm a little late, but whatever. So when we talked to them, I was telling them, I said, you never know. My goal is to change one life.
Absolutely.
And I know people think she want to save the world. No. My goal is to just try to change the life of one person. So what I say is that word of the day may hit from you different, hit somebody different than somebody else's word. So, you know, you can get the word of the day from 5 people, but maybe 2 or 1 out of 5, that day hit you different. So just because somebody's out here doing the same thing that you're doing, or you feel like they're doing the same thing, that does not mean that you're doing it differently. You may be doing it differently. So don't stop doing it because you just don't know. You know what I mean? That one day somebody turned on that phone and they needed that. That was the day that they needed that, right?
That happened to me when I first started. You know, I do poetry, right? So, but before I really got into the poetry, I tried to rap a little bit, and I got words. You know what I'm saying? So I had this song called "What You Do in the Dark." What you do in the dark comes out in the light. God let the sun shine to see what's right. Whatever, right? But it was a nice little song, and this guy, shout out to my man Charles Murray, his stepfather, who was dying, was like, yo, and he put me on the phone. He's like, yo, bro, listen, you don't understand how much that song, I listened to it several times a day.
Wow.
Now at the time, you know, I'm like in my 20s. So I'm like, whatever.
Right.
Don't feed me the
Right.
But when I look back at the moment, I'm like, wow, because he was dying.
Right.
And you know, you hearing what you do in the dark comes out in the light or whatever.
Right.
So he felt like, you know, at peace with hearing that or whatever. So, you know, you're right about that. You know, sometimes, you know, you might put something out there and you think like, it ain't nothing.
Right.
But you never know who's
you don't know.
You never know.
You throw a wet paper towel on the wall. You don't know if it's gonna stick, right?
Absolutely. True indeed.
Now you mentioned the health scare, like just if you want to just briefly.
I'll give an overview.
Yeah. How was that?
You know, unfortunately, I was diagnosed with cancer, which, you know, I don't really, you know, people always ask me, like, what was this? I don't really talk about it. And part of that not talking about it is because my son also had cancer too. So, you know, so that's still an emotion that's still, like, you know, he had cancer, I had cancer, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, well, you know, on one hand, you know, the humanness of me says like, yo, what I do, yo.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. Like, but on the other hand, it's like, you know, sometimes, you know, God gives us battles that we all have to go through and bridges to cross, and then you know, we become a better person after that bridge or whatever. So, you know, being able to go through that and overcome that, it took me a little bit of time to really kind of like get back to myself a little bit, right? I went back to where I was out of work for like, from March to November.
Gotcha.
And if that insurance wasn't so high, I'd have probably still been
got
out. But I had to start making insurance payments, and that's not. So, but I was out for that little bit of time, and then, you know, I didn't really feel comfortable coming back. You know, it took a while. But maybe I would say like maybe a couple of months ago, like maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I really started feeling like myself again.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, yeah, Bryce is back.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? I'm
a
feeling a little better. I'm walking different. I'm feeling different. I want to hang out a little bit now. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different. So yeah, but that's what we had to go through. You know what I'm saying? And that's just something.
How's your son?
He's good. He's at the University of Valley Forge. He's playing ball, so he's happy. He's doing well. He had his 5-year checkup right before he went back to school, free and clear. He's good. Nice. So that's a blessing.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so that's kind of what, you know, we always got battles to overcome, man. It sucks though.
Wouldn't be life, right?
Wouldn't be life.
Wouldn't be life. Wouldn't have a story to tell.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't have nothing to pull from.
It's funny that you say that though, because that's kind of what I felt that day in the hospital when I was like, okay, yeah, maybe that's why I want to speak. And maybe I didn't want to speak before, because I do think that it's the pressure, the contention of life that brings what's in you out. Right. So maybe that was like the final straw.
Got you.
Where, and we can curse on here, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Like where now I just don't give a fuck.
Right.
Like I don't
Right.
care. Like
Right.
I'm gonna speak my mind.
Right.
I don't care if you fucking like me. I don't care
Right.
if you don't like me.
Right. I got you.
I tell people straight up, I'm strange and crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know what I'm saying? You might see me at the park talking to myself,
Right,
talking
right,
about.
right.
I don't care. Son.
Right.
So that's where that,
it actually gives you something to pull from, and like everybody go through stuff, but the fact of the matter remains is, I'm transparent.
Absolutely,
right?
me too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very transparent because I went through a whole lot.
Sure.
And I think for me, just letting people know, you're gonna go through stuff. But the problem is you can't sit in that shit.
Yeah, you can.
Stand up.
Yeah, you can.
You know what I mean? I want to give you the willpower to stand up because I did. I had to.
Yeah.
I sat in the shit for a little bit.
sat for a little bit, but
I sat in the shit because
but you
I
gotta
did that
stand.
whole,
Yeah.
why me?
Why
Why am I
me?
here? What's up?
Am
But
I
God,
being
I
punished?
believe.
Yeah.
God, because you go back and forth.
Yes.
You go back and forth with the
Yes.
why me, the woe is me, and then you
Yes.
like, but God.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to convince yourself,
Yeah.
like you're having this inner battle, like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm a child of God, and you got to
Absolutely.
believe, and you got to know there's a
Absolutely.
purpose.
Absolutely.
But then when you figure it out, I'm here, right?
Right.
And now I got something to pull from.
I got something
You know,
to
and I
pull
tell
from,
people
yeah.
all the time, I say what I got to say to you today because tomorrow may not happen.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And real quick story, me and my sister had an argument on Sunday. And I told her, get the fuck out of my house. I'm tired of you. I'm done.
Right.
My sister battled with narcotic use,
Okay,
you know, for
gotcha.
years. I raised her son, who I call my son.
Right.
So I'm done.
Right.
Tuesday, she was dead.
Oh wow. So sorry.
My point is,
Yeah. You just never know.
you gotta fix shit and say shit because tomorrow I never got a chance to say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
no.
So when people say like we ain't got tomorrow. So I'm gonna give you all of this today.
Right,
No,
right,
true
right.
indeed.
Because when I go to sleep in the event,
You never
you're
know.
gonna know how I feel about you.
never know, right.
You're gonna know how I don't feel about you.
Right.
You're gonna know what I had to say to you. You're gonna know
Right.
it all because we
Right.
just don't know. And the human in us wants to say, I can do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I can do it tomorrow. Next thing you know, 30 years later,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
still gonna do it tomorrow.
yeah.
I'm gonna do it tomorrow, right?
As much
That's
as
a good point.
much, and you know, sometimes I understand that in a battle, and I also have it in a battle where it's like, you know, people, because I went through a period right before having the cancer and things breaking down and relationships breaking down, friendships ending, people turning on you without you realizing when they turned.
Right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
And it's like, yo, sometimes I have a battle inside of me, like, yo, I wish I could stay mad. Like,
Right,
nah,
right,
you know
right.
what I mean? Like, yo, you try to play me, blah.
Yeah.
But sometimes I battle because my heart won't let me.
I wish you well.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta wish you well.
It won't let me.
Right.
You can't hold no space in here.
And that's the thing, like that. So sometimes that's a man thing or a pride thing, because it'll make me feel like a sucker. Like, oh, you think I'm a sucker? Like, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, I
But you
think
know,
we're-
forgiveness ain't
yeah.
about you.
It ain't. It's
Ain't about the other person.
more
It's
for
about
me.
you.
It's
Right?
more for
Forgiveness
me.
is about you. So I don't care if you think I'm weak.
Yeah.
Because that's you
You really
ain't
don't
my
understand,
focus.
right? You
But
don't
you not my
understand. Yeah,
focus.
true indeed.
Guess who's the whole focus in this whole story of
You
life?
already know. Yeah.
Me.
Right. Oh yeah. True indeed. Yeah.
And who I work with.
Absolutely.
Because
yeah.
I serve a mighty God. So at the end of the day, how you feel about me, I don't even care for
Right.
real. Because I gotta feel good about me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I gotta be accountable to him.
Right. Absolutely.
Because when this is all said and done,
That's right.
I need to stand up there and I need him to look at the video that was
Right.
Tracy Hall's life and say, well done, my child.
Good and faithful servant.
Yes,
That's
well
right.
done. Come on in.
Right.
Come on in.
Right. You're good.
Come on in.
You know what I mean?
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, I'm glad for you and your son.
Yeah, I'm glad
you
you're
know what
doing well.
I'm saying?
I told you when I seen you look good.
Yeah, yeah, I
you
appreciate
look
you.
good.
I
You look
appreciate
healthy. What is the aftermath of that? Like, are you eating different? Are you living?
So like my whole life has changed, right? So I eat differently. I try to eat between 12 and 8, you know, except for like if I'm going out and going to like I'm getting activated.
Right.
I need food.
Right.
So, but no, I walk a lot.
Okay.
Like, I walk a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I started exercising and doing push-ups and just trying to be more fit, you know what I'm saying, and more healthy. Just because I'm turning 50 next year, and
I remember that day.
see,
It's in my rear view mirror.
Definitely in mine.
turning 50, and you start to realize that you got more years behind than
Right,
ahead.
My favorite line, right? It's my favorite line.
And then that's when you like, yo, you know what? Nah, I gotta. If I want, I'm trying to chase 90.
Right.
Everybody except I know on my mother's side, like my mom's passed when she was 59. But on my father's side, like my grandfather lived to 97, 98.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? My grandmother was like in her 90s.
Got you.
Aunt in her 90s.
Right,
so,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
So I'm trying to chase that 90.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
And the only way you can do that is focus and work on you, right?
True indeed.
That's
True
it.
indeed.
That's
True
it.
indeed. True indeed. That's what's up.
That's it.
Let's get into this digital creation podcast world for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? On episode 90, you had the Let's Get It Sports Talk podcast. You know what I'm saying? You rebranded that a little bit, and I need everybody to check that out. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Most weekends at certain times,
Certain time.
we let you know when
You'll
it's
catch
on,
us.
and I just happen to be
You will
one
catch us.
of the co-hosts on that show. So
CB.
please check us out. You know what I'm saying? But
This the new Let's Get It Sports Talk, broadcasting live on weekends, exclusively on Facebook and the Four Walls Foundation YouTube channel.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the new Let's Get It Sports Talk. I'm one of the hosts, Doc Bryce. To my left, but to your right, we do have head coach Fred Battie. We also, to his left, to your right, have head coach Marcus Bullock, MB, Fred Battie, FB. And last but not least, to Marcus's left, you have head coach Such Wild Bird, CB. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing, man?
let's talk about that a little bit. The rebranding of that whole situation.
That was, like I said, I went through some things before, the cancer journey, before I was going to have surgery. And one of the things that broke down was my show. Me and a friend of mine, that was something that, I always wanted to be a producer. I made beats, I recorded music, and I was really good at it. I was pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I could have made it.
Yeah, right.
I wanted to try. Right. So that always been in my peripherals. But when you got kids, like I said, when life get a little colorful, you got to put the dream away and go with the guarantee. You know what I mean? Right. So, but now that, I was able to have some success, so I reached back and I remember my boy Randy, he was going to go to school and this and that. I'm like, we can do our own thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. So years later, I reached back and I said, let's do it. And we were doing it and we were doing it well.
Yeah.
But then, the relationship broke down.
Gotcha.
And sometimes, and I think I said it recently. I said, if I had to go back, I probably would do it differently. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't wrong about what I felt. Because, it was a money situation and, my whole thing was, what is your view of me? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're different culturally, right? And I have to be aware, everybody has to be aware of how people view you, right? So if I'm telling you if I tell you like, yo, you owe me something, I would hope that your analysis of my character knows I'm not trying to play you.
Right. I got
You understand what I'm saying? Just like vice versa. So I think that person might have felt like, I was trying to like hustle him. I'm like,
got you.
why? Like you've never spent no money on anything.
Right.
I've spent all the money.
Right.
So why would I be hustling you? So that was very, very disappointing because not only was I in limbo, with the show, and now the relationship, which he was a friend of mine.
Right.
That's gone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The show's gone. Plus I got cancer.
Right. Gotcha.
Plus, I got reviews going on. It was like a storm, yo. I'm getting denied for my license in Delaware. I go fight that battle. There's just so many different things I had to fight, during that time, whatever. But, I talked to my man, shout out Marcus. I talked to Marcus, and he couldn't believe what happened. He couldn't believe the whole situation or whatever. And I was like, yo, I'm just trying to figure out, like, what do we do? Like, I don't want to just quit. Because it ain't just about one person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, listen, man, the show got to go on. And I was like, that's what I needed, man. As long as I got my dude, I'm like, yo, all right, come on, let's rock. You know what I'm saying? So we rebranded and came back. And then we started, we had it was just me and him for a while, and you know, we had some haters out there saying like, "Yo, don't watch the show." I ain't, you know what I mean? Don't watch the show. Like, yo, I don't understand, but whatever. You know, so and then you know, we would have different guests. I had you on. We had Fred on. We had somebody else on. And I was like, yo, Mark, why don't we just like bring both of them and let's just rock out. Let's just do it. That's why I stepped to you. He stepped to Fred. Boom. And then we've been rocking ever since with the jackets and everything.
Yeah,
you know
facts.
what I mean? So, and what I really enjoy about it is kind of like what Tracy says, right? Like, you know, when you're not doing something, you realize how much you miss it.
True.
And sometimes, like, you know, yes, listen, if we could all get on, and I do feel prayerfully that we will be taking this to the next level, okay? But if we don't, it's still good fellowship, a good time, and good, you know, good conversation. Very true. So that's what I enjoy the most about it. So it's a keeper in my life.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
That's definitely what's up. How about the angle?
So the angle came while I was recovering, right? So I have ADD. Okay. People say, no, it's ADHD. No, because I'm not hyper. So ADD.
ADD.
Okay. And while I was recovering, you know, they don't want you to go out. They want you to sit down and for like 3 months. You know, they don't want you doing nothing.
Gotcha.
That don't work for me, bro. That don't work for me. So I went back to school, and I went to this school in Cherry Hill called the Connecticut School of Broadcasting to give myself something to do. And plus I wanted to, you know, kind of get a little more knowledge with the whole podcast or whatever. So I did that, and, you know, from that came the angle. And
this was years ago. Business and love, that's the key. That's the key. He told me that. This was years ago.
Yeah.
That's the key to being successful in business, is having business and love. Like, I'm never trying to be malicious and take advantage of you. It has to be a win-win. If it's not a win-win it's definitely not a win for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be a part of it. But we're not going to do it righteously. We're not going to be like authentic and be, you know, have good morals doing this type of business. Then I can't do it. I remember one time somebody wanted me to do, you know, funnel. They had some other entity and wanted to funnel some stuff through my nonprofit or whatever, and it had nothing to do with children or counseling. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're destroying my brand. Well, how you doing? I said, no, because I don't even want to get that misconstrued. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be ethical. It has to be some love in it, but it also should be some reciprocity. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It started out as the clinical angle. Okay. Remember, I think I told you that one time.
I think you did.
The clinical angle, and I think you had liked it, and then I brought it to my people at the school, and they was feeling it, but then there were other cultures that were different than mine, and I could never. My man Kennedy said, "Hey, listen, Bryce. My people ain't interested in no clinical angle. Just say the angle." I said, you know what? Okay, we're gonna keep it the angle. We'll keep it the angle. You know what I'm saying? So that's just like my host of being able to kind of like talk about, give people their flowers, talk about different things that's in the community, talk about different things. And I'm enamored by people's story.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has a story. It doesn't matter if you know, from the lowest to everybody has a story.
Very true.
Yeah, and that's what I'm enamored by. So I just want to tell people's story.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean?
That's what's up. And I need everybody out there to check all these situations out. You know what I'm saying?
Please do.
We will definitely have all the information on the screen when this airs. You know what I'm saying? So you can tune in. You know what I'm saying? And you will definitely enjoy. I know, cuz, before we get out of here, I know you had something you wanted to talk about, what we had going on with the young man from LSU.
Yes. So when we decided to come back on this episode, we were trying to figure out what angle we wanted to take. So in light of, I'm going to pronounce his name wrong because I'm terrible with names, but Kyran Lacey, the man from LSU. I just felt like it would be an opportune time once again for us to talk about the mental health in young athletes and young African American men. And I'm going to say me because it's my opinion. I don't know all the facts and circumstances, but I believe a lot of people in that young man's life may have felt him. And I say that because they show highlights of the week prior to things happening, how they happened, he kept saying, nobody believes my story. Nobody believes my story. Now, for me, I just feel like our young athletes go through so many emotions and they gotta always appear strong. This young man watched his stock drop on a dream that he thought was gonna be able to make him financially stable for not only himself but his family.
and everything.
He watched it stock over a lie, and and along with he had another issue, I believe maybe a court issue going on. So he had a multitude of things going on, and he's starting to fall apart internally. And I feel like when we see our young athletes, because we are once again are not preparing our kids for when the football field starts getting small, or when the ball starts bouncing. And this kid watching his life probably going to change, because he can't sit still. He's young. He's a kid. He don't want to wait for the judicial system to play itself out, because systemically, judicial systems don't play out well for us. You know, and they showed him telling his mom, like in the video they just showed. I seen a clip. I don't watch the whole thing.
Sure.
And I'm gonna tell you why. My kid was an athlete. My kid blew his brains out, and this is why Daylight was developed. So to watch another family go through what we went through on a different level is hurtful for me as a mother and as a family. It's hurtful. Just hurtful. So I'm watching the little clips as much as I can watch, and he keeps saying nobody believes my story. I feel like if therapy from the college level down to the home intentively if they had a wrapped, instead of just telling him it's gonna be okay, if they had wrapped him around in the right services, this could have played out different for him. Because now we're looking at the fact that it wasn't even him.
Right.
It was a whole montage of AI and fake and false and all of that, trying to make this kid out to be a monster that he wasn't. And it caused him to believe that he was. Because I feel like, and this is my opinion, and it's mine. I don't think he may have had services, but I don't think he had the right services. So I wanted to bring you on because I'm a firm believer in any children, male, female, who are involved in any extracurricular activities need to be in some type of therapeutic services.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to ask your opinion and what you think is the best course of action for parents whose children are taking this athletic role and taking this on and being a student athlete. What do you recommend or suggest they should do to make sure their athlete / student / child has the right supports outside of just family?
All right, so thank you for the question. Immediately while I'm hearing you talk, right, I think about my man Marcus and the book that he's writing. And it's a book, well, I'm sorry, that he wrote it.
That is, yeah.
I'm saying that's out there. And it's like, it's like for the parents, it's a manual for the parents, how to encourage the kids and how to not kill the desire or the want, you know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. But the other thing is where I do think that every athlete should have some therapeutic services, because anytime you play in a sport, you go through various emotions, you know what I'm saying, and losing. And see, what happens is children don't really understand that losing only prepares you to win. Where you were talking about the kid and the family, right? That they failed them. I mean, I agree with you, right? But I also think that some family members just don't have that level of perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you're saying to that child exactly what you're saying, you have a high level of perspective. That person that's saying, oh, you just made them okay for losing, they don't really understand.
Right.
They don't get it. And that's where, you know, the I always say the much knowledge, and here's Simba, much knowledge, much suffering. And the suffering is that they don't know. And they think that you're wrong. But it's really them. Right. So no, you're right. What you told them is pretty much you're telling them not just for the sport, you're telling them in life.
Right.
Because it ain't about you making mistakes or failing. It's about
recovering.
What you gonna do next. I want to know what the response is to that. Don't tell me about the mistake. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about the mistake.
Right.
I don't. I care about what's the next move, and that's what I want to help you with.
So that mistake doesn't happen again.
It doesn't happen again.
Right.
Right. That's
you know
what I
mean?
care about.
And that's my thing. My thing is, for me, I think athletically, we don't you're not always going to win.
So I think you're absolutely right with that. Like, you know, to me, it's about how you respond. And I think that children need that level of encouragement. So that's where I do think that this is why I love our basketball team coaching staff, right? Because we have excellent coaches. And everybody has different styles,
Right.
but they balance.
Right.
Like you know, the varsity or the head coach, they have to be a certain way.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But your assistant
Need to
is
be-
supposed to
right.
come and be a certain way.
Right.
And then your other assistant, and your other assistant, and it just all meshes because you need someone that's going to say, "Hey, listen." Well, you know, that's why I say to the kids, you know, oh, I can't take that. I said, wait a minute, hold on. What you think? You think he's trying to coach you to fail?
Right.
I mean, we coming you up. I mean, just think about it.
Right.
He's trying to help you fail or win.
Right.
But they need that level of perspective and breakdown.
So when I started my program, it wasn't about me trying to save nobody. It's about me letting people understand this. We have to wrap our kids around with supports. Not just you as a parent, it's coaches, it's squad. We're not making soft kids by no means. We're making them mentally tough, actually.
True.
Because we're preparing them for when life starts lifing. Because as an athlete and you're aging out, guess what? You got to get a job.
That's right.
Life
Yeah,
going to start
exactly.
lifing.
Yeah.
And don't nobody, I remember being somewhere this weekend and everybody, because it was a moment where everybody was with each other talking about who they used to be. I was the quarterback, I was this, I was that. We all were something.
Right.
We workers now.
Right.
We parents and coaches.
That's not your only highlight.
Right.
Right.
Like life happened.
Right.
And it's cool, but we all were.
We all were, right.
True.
But the story you need to let these babies know is I transitioned.
Right.
And I'm still above water.
Right.
Because when the ball stopped, I was able to figure something else out.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think this key for me is in bringing this up and bringing you on was just understanding how important making our young people and ourselves as people that young people look up to mentally strong. And in order to be mentally strong, we have to be able to look at ourselves naked, fix what we know we got going on.
That's it.
So we can be a better version of ourselves so we can give that to other people.
And I got to add to that, and this brought up something that you said, healing.
Yes.
So yeah, I do believe that every I used to look at counseling. Well, I'm a counselor, right? But the counselor never went to counseling. Right. But I went to counseling. And it was like the best thing. Like, shout out to Rebecca Toko. Like, that's the best thing. And I still go.
Right.
And it's just having a conversation. That's all it is, just having a conversation and somebody, pouring life into it, into me. Because as a counselor or workers, you pour constantly, constantly. But who's pouring back?
True.
And, to your other point, though, Tracy, is that, like, that's why there needs to be, people that have that perspective around kids, because there are some people in the athletic world where they don't really care.
Because they just using them for wins.
I need
a win, I need a trophy, I need a ring.
And it's not just the coach, though. It could be, this is what I've noticed, it could be those that train, the trainers, to get them better for the coach or for the sport. It's become like a big business. And that, unfortunately, fortunately, that's why they have the NIL now, right? So that kind of counterattacks it a little bit. But that's money, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But to me, you need that person to help them understand life and how this sport relates to life and how you're going to learn these life lessons. And I think that we need more of that. You know what I'm saying? There's some good ones, but there's also someone like, you don't really care. You just using. You using and abusing. And I've seen the damage that is done. I've seen it firsthand. They love you.
So you can't produce for them,
Till you
and then
can't
you're
produce
done.
no more, and then, get out of here.
And then they say stuff, well, you knew that's who he was, or you knew that's where he was going to be. We tried to keep, Like it's crazy because I've seen it too, and it's so sad because like I remember telling a kid, I don't give a shit if you ever put a ball in a basket again.
That's right.
I want you to be a productive adult.
That's it.
True.
I want you to be a strong-minded, productive adult.
Right. But see, that comes from the perspective, right? So when I always say, well, what do you want to do? I want to be a football player. Okay. All right. What do you want to do? Well, if I can't do football, I'll do baseball. I say, okay, stop. Listen, don't tell me about no athletic nothing, okay? Because your career could be over just like that, right? What else do you want to do?
Right.
So that's those conversations, because those athletes, they want to be at that level.
Right,
That's why they're in the sport.
Right.
But that may not be God's purpose for you.
And we're going to statistically, once again, put up those stats on how many kids from high school go D1 and how many D1 go into the NBA, NFL. We always put that up periodically. I'll make sure we throw it up again so you guys, you parents that watch us, can just put in perspective where your child lies. But that doesn't mean your child can't get a free education behind this, so they can have the tools and the knowledge to do something else in the event of. Because I told a young kid the other day, I'm not starting. He said he wasn't starting. And I said, Joe, well, just keep going to practice and working hard and be a coachable player, because let me tell you why. Everybody's one injury away from being a starter.
That's right.
And I say that because the guy in front of you that you behind, shit happens.
Yeah.
You know, shit happens. I remember getting my first time varsity play on the court because everybody fouled out. And they had nobody but to get the sophomore. And guess what? Once I got out that bitch, I ain't never come back off. All I needed was crack the door and I'm coming through. And I tell young
what they do is what I've seen do, especially this past year or last couple of years. It gets hard. Instead of helping them persevere, they take them out.
Right.
And I'm like,
transfer.
I'm like the only, listen, I reclassed my son, okay? Because he suffered an ACL, so that he was going to be out the whole, so I said, okay, you know what, that made sense to me.
Right.
And it was the best decision, not athletically.
Right.
Not at all, athletically.
Right.
But for his maturation, he became a different student. You take him out of this big school, Eastern, 2,000-3,000 students, and you put him in with a graduating class of 25,
Right,
30,
gotcha.
right? So it's more intimate, it's more learning, helping him become Jason has got the best grades of any BRICE, okay? Of any BRICE, okay? Let's just be very clear, okay? Like, he's not failing. I mean, he's, you know, he run like honor roll.
That's what's
like, you know what I'm saying? So the point I'm making is that the coaches and the parents, they're looking at it as a meal ticket.
Right.
You know
That's
what I'm
what I
saying?
said,
That's not the way. Like that Joe Jackson way of doing things is not, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't work. I mean, it works. Like, so Michael, right? Michael was a big star.
Right. But
Michael ain't here no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Michael was sleeping in a chamber.
Yeah.
Michael was getting propofol.
Yeah.
You ever had propofol?
Nah.
I can show you on my phone what propofol do. You know what I'm
But
saying?
and you know, I think I take this time to utilize this platform and those that we can reach or don't reach or whatever the case may be, because I was an athlete whose life took a change. I was a coach who watched parents just try to make everybody's kid going to be the next best thing. And then now I'm a grandmom of an athlete watching her sometimes internally self-destruct. So I use this platform because I got knowledge all levels of it, right?
Absolutely.
So I just want us to understand that sports initially was so people can learn
life
lessons, camaraderie, build friendships,
teamwork,
social skills. That's what it was for, and then somehow it turned into a check.
Yeah.
True.
And it turned into, you know, this whole other animal. And sometimes it's sad. It's sad to the point where my 5-year-old, she takes horseback riding lessons. We ain't doing that other shit.
Right, I got you. You're doing something different. Doing something different. I don't blame you. Like, you know, listen, I had the privilege of coaching softball last year.
Oh, the sisterhood.
And we had the sisterhood, ladies. You know what I'm saying? We didn't win a game.
But y'all had a
But
time.
we had fun.
You had a time.
We got laughs, the camaraderie that we built amongst the girls, and hopefully those life lessons. Because if I can sit with you in this,
Right.
and I could still have the desire to want to win, the desire to do things,
And to
the
show
desire-
up.
and to show up,
Right.
then you know what? I'm helping you understand that there's going to be moments in life that life will be lifing,
True.
right?
True.
And you still gotta show up,
True.
persevere, and do what you gotta do.
True indeed.
And those that fall off, okay, they're just not there yet.
Right,
You know what
right,
I'm saying?
right,
So
right.
because I mean that's anything. You trim the fat, right?
Right.
You prune.
Right.
You prune things for it to grow,
Right,
right?
right,
So
right.
you know, unfortunately, they're not there yet.
Right.
You know what I'm
True,
saying? But
true,
you
true,
know,
true.
so that to me was an example. And we had some emotions, and you know what I mean? My man Cap, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's about empowering and uplifting these children.
True.
That's what you have
Indeed.
to do.
True indeed. That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, before we get out of here, future plans, like what's going on in that mind of yours? You know what I'm saying?
He ain't got no space for nothing else.
I'm sure he
see.
just says he has the vision.
My people tell me, they always say, my people tell me you got too many tabs open.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that's pathetic, because I do. You know what I'm saying? But the future plans is that I turn 50 next year. And like I said, I got more years behind me than in front of me. So I am leaving education, and I'm going to pursue 4 walls.
Okay.
Full
okay.
time.
Full time. Okay.
God bless you.
So yeah, so that I made that decision last year. I think coming back after the cancer, I was struggling
Okay, I got you.
about what to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because don't get me wrong, I love Penns Grove. I love that community.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? I love those people.
Right.
So it's like, damn, like, yo, I want to be able to see their generations
Right.
and their generations.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
And I had a desire. I want to be, because in Penns Grove, they got this Penns Grove Wall of Fame.
Okay.
And you got, but it got to be from Penns Grove. I say,
Gotcha.
I want to be the first person that ain't from Penns Grove.
Gotcha.
You're gonna have me on that wall, yo.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But what I'm gonna do is I made the decision that, and I told my principal that, I'm gonna come back for one more, and then that's it. So that's what the plan is, prayerfully, hopefully.
Right. Okay.
And then what I would like to do is I would like to open up an outpatient
Okay.
counseling center in Penns Grove.
Okay.
To be able to help those children
Right.
and families. I just want
Right.
to, I look at it as from New York hustling. I'm just switching the money up.
Yeah, I
you know what I'm saying? But really, it's just I'm doing something different.
Right,
I'm just
I
doing
got
it
you.
on a different
I got
level.
you.
know
Okay,
what I mean? Still,
okay,
but it's
okay.
all, and that's the one thing about. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut
you
you.
good.
That's the thing about all the different things I do. Right? People always say, I don't know how you do it.
Right,
I don't know.
right,
I'm
right,
like,
right.
I don't know how I do it either. Shit. But the reason the way I do it is because it's all the same thing.
Yeah,
it's
I was
all
about
the same
to-
thing, like all rooted in
Right.
the good of people, helping people.
right,
so
right,
that's
right.
why it doesn't really feel like
Like
I'm
you're doing a whole
so
bunch
many.
of-
It's just
yeah,
like, yo,
yeah,
I'm clocking out of this particular assignment.
Right,
I'm
right,
going on to
right.
this assignment.
Right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So
They all kind of
It-
like line
all
up.
the
They're all
same
in the
thing.
same,
Right.
All the same thing.
lane a little bit.
All
You know
the
what I'm
same
saying?
thing.
Or the same highway.
Same highway.
Maybe 4 lanes,
Yeah.
but it's with the same
Yeah.
highway going the
All
same way.
same direction.
Yeah. I got you. I got you. Well, hey man,
Good luck
that's
to you.
definitely what's up. Yeah.
appreciate
We'll be
you.
after you retire from education, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah. Well, I had to get the 10 in, though. You know
Yo,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
definitely.
I gotta get the 10 in. I gotta draw something, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. So
So,
we'll definitely will be following, and then I guess he'll be back on another episode to talk about
Please, yeah.
4 walls and only 4 walls. You know what I'm saying?
Only 4 walls. All the things we're going to do, man.
Let the folk know, just real quick, your handles, your IG info for yourself, for 4 walls, the angle, all that good stuff, where they can find all this at.
All right. So, let me think for a minute now. All right. So, I got counselorbrice.org,
Okay.
the4wallscompany.com.
Okay.
My handle on Instagram is Counselor Bryce. On TikTok is Mr. Bryce's Neighborhood. And on Facebook, it should be Counselor Bryce or Jason Bryce.
Okay.
So my thing is that wherever you see, like, I really want people to follow. If you could follow Mr. Bryce's Neighborhood on TikTok, or Counselor Bryce on Instagram, or even Counselor Bryce or Jason Bryce on Facebook, that would be great, because I really want to be able just to allow you to be able to take a part in that word of the day.
Right.
That's
Gotcha.
really what I want. I want people to, because sometimes my word is not just like, oftentimes it's like what I'm dealing with.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
Like,
right,
what I'm
right.
going through.
Right, I
Like,
got you.
like, wait a minute, like, yo, I'm going
I
through
got
this.
you.
Yo, why is this like
Right,
this,
right, right.
man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and I realize that I'm not the only one that goes through it. So I was just
Right.
sharing that information. So if you
that's
guys
what's up.
can, follow that, or if you're in need of services, go to the fourwallscompany.com and you can see all our services that we have up there. If you're looking for some coaching, outside of counseling, but with counseling or whatever, then you go to counselorbrice.org and then we have different selection packages that you could take a part of. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's talking about business, talking about different things, or mentoring you. And to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, this is all for the low. Like, I don't do nothing to like an exorbitant amount.
Right.
And one of the reasons why is, and I'm rambling a little bit, so that's the ADD, man. So one of the reasons why is because when I was trying to seek help and do things, these cats wanted to charge me like $700, $800. I'm like, there's no way I'm paying you $700, $800, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't want to be that person.
Right. I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So my stuff will always be affordable and for the low, because to me, slow money is good money.
True.
I call it bodega money. It's slow. Bodegas are rich.
True. Yeah.
They're millionaires, man.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
So
That's what's up. Well, we definitely appreciate this.
I do want to say one thing.
Go ahead.
But listen, I really appreciate being here, man. I appreciate the energy that y'all give. I love the I call it rhetoric, but I love the knowledge that you guys give. Tracy, I always feel your heart. I really do. I always feel your heart, and you didn't fail. I gotta pour that into you. I'm sorry, that was bothering me. You did not fail. You know what I'm saying? I think that you're a great and phenomenal woman, and anything that you need for daylight, you just always let me know, and I'll try to do my best to do that. The BYRDCAGE, man, you hook me up with a shirt or a hoodie or something.
I got you.
Man.
You know I got you.
I was
I got
rocking
you.
your shirt in Florida.
Nah, I got you.
New Jersey out here in Orlando. You see, I got the BRICE on. Shout out to my man, Such a Wild Bird.
Yeah, I got some new stuff coming in, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely got you. I
this
appreciate
platform,
that.
man. Like,
We appreciate you. We appreciate
Word
you.
up.
We appreciate you. We definitely appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Any shout outs real quick before we get out of here?
Yo, shout out everybody. Let's get it.
Yes, Didi.
Shout out, FB, MB. Shout out to my family, my whole family. I love you guys, and this is what I do. I do it for y'all. Shout out to everybody that I've ever, met or who has encouraged me, has, poured into me or helped me in any way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just thankful, super thankful for you guys. And, listen, just let me know how I can help any of you guys, and I promise you I'll be able to do so.
That's what's up. So, again, definitely appreciate you coming on, bro.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you let me share your platforms with you as well. You know what I'm saying? So I need you guys to tune into the new Let's Get It Sports Talk programs and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Please continue to tune into the BYRDCAGE. We are back. You know what I'm saying? We will be back better than before. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal. That's the vision. You know what I'm saying? To keep this thing moving on that upward movement trajectory. That's what I was looking for. I couldn't think of it. See, that's why she's on here. You know what I'm saying? We on the same page all the time. Well, most of the time. All the time.
So, bro,
yeah, that's all I got, Cousin Tracy. What you got?
So I have several things. Saturday, Lawnside is having a mental health symposium at the Wayne Bryant Community Center. I believe it starts at 11. I'm not too sure. I'm actually sitting on that panel. The 18th. I'm actually sitting on that panel, and I'm honored. It was a little touch and go because when they were creating the panel, someone advised them to reach out to me, and the person that was organizing it really was coming at my neck about credentials. Wow. But that's neither here nor there, because I'm gonna show them Saturday while I'm sitting on that panel, and what is the purpose for me being there? Because because a reason someone gave you my information, because I know this stuff, right?
True.
And you can't put a mile marker
Right.
on all this I done went through, on this
Absolutely.
road I traveled
True.
to give you what I'm giving you.
Right.
But that's Saturday the 18th at the Wayne Bryant Community Center. On the 29th of October, it's not my event, it's an OEO event for all our Camden residents. They will be at Sheridan Apartments providing resources and it's like a Halloween Fall Fest thing. Bring the kids out, bring the family out. They'll have OEO information about resources. Daylight will be out there as well, tabling with some resources as well. November 7th, we'll keep you guys posted, but we should be doing a Fall Fest movie night at Elijah Perry Park. Daylight Foundation will have resources out there as well. And you could come out, bring your own chair. We'll supply popcorn, snacks, juice, all of that. It's just for an opportunity for family to come together, watch a good movie, you know, and to get some resources as well, some other things. So that's November 7th. Stay posted for that. Oh, I may have something else coming up. I'm not too sure. I'm trying to get better with this calendaring thing. I am a lot better than I've been. And I like to thank you guys for all that always support Daylight. We appreciate you guys. Like I said, the 10th was World Mental Health Day. And if you haven't, I know today is a new day, but if you haven't, whatever time you get, check on your folk. Check on your people. Seasonal depression is about to set in because it gets dark earlier. So just check up on your people. And check up on those that check up on you. You know, you got to love those that love you and love those that need love. So just continue to be who we are. So I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. I know we gave you guys an hour today, a little over an hour, but we back. We just trying to get it done.
Definitely.
Sorry. Shout out to my oldest daughter, Davina Hall. She was honored yesterday by the Dell State alumni.
Okay,
I believe she got the Community Impact Award
That's dope.
for the work she does in our city for Daylight and for OEO. So again, Proverbs 22:6. I'm a firm believer in that if you raise a child in the way they should go, when they become old, they shall never depart. So I'm thankful for my children and all that they do and all that they're becoming. And again, thank you guys for watching The Birdcage.
Facts. Well, with that being said, once again, I am Sechuayo, a.k.a. Coach Bird. I'm the host of The Birdcage Show. The lovely Cousin Tracy. Our guest today, Dr. Jason Brice. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
Right.
It was a stone groove, my man.